I'm going to continue reading here toward the bottom of the page. This is in Chapter 1 of Myrtle's Ultimate Mystery. I'm reading on my Kindle. I'm just going to continue where I left off reading last time in Chapter 1. We'll come back later to that scene in my office and the events following as days and weeks went by. And Black Barrymore and I grew more and more nervous about what we were uncovering. Now, here's what happened that sunny afternoon in my attic, when I was able to come up with anything at all for a plot for my first mystery. The pressure was on. It was March. A few weeks before that afternoon, Bantam had contracted me to write this series. This would be my ticket to getting rich beyond Formica, the right way. Not that any wrong ways had been considered. Being realistic, I knew it would take a while. Most mystery series don't start selling until several sequels are available on B. Dalton and Walden bookshelves. This, of course, can take years from the time of publication of the first book. But Bantam was enthusiastic about the idea of a female parapsychologist investigator. And I had already established fame as an astrologer, having been on national TV news shows. Do you wonder why I'm not already rich? Well, honestly, I'm not taking many clients. Been spending my time writing books publishers won't read. They approached me with the idea of the witch detective. What the heck, I thought, if money can be made writing mysteries, why not? It might be fun. There was the Sand Creek experience, after all. That could provide food for a subplot. Yet even the hint of an idea for a plot hadn't graced my mind. That's my cat up there in the window, talking to the birds. She makes noises like birds. Okay, that's not in the book. Yet even the hint of an idea for a pilot hadn't graced my mind, let alone one with several twists to satisfy the mystery audience. To say the least, I wasn't feeling able to do this storyteller thing. My brain was aching from racking when the phone rang. In case you forgot, there's a phone in this attic. The mauve one, next to the black, antique PC. Yes, Myrtle here. Sometimes we sound a bit British, don't know why. Never been outside the U.S., though I had planned to travel to exotic locales, with advances from my books. Sure, travel, but only after plotting extensively. Miss Drinkwater? The voice was female, timid, low-key, lightly musical. Yes. You're the astrologer? Yes. Not only was I plotless that afternoon, my responses weren't too creative either. I found you in the Yellow Pages. Yes, go on. I think I need your help. Sure, what's the problem? Maybe I should tell you my name first. Certainly. It's Jean. Jean Bertha Merriweather. In Denver. That is, I live in Denver. Well, actually I live in Wheat Ridge, a suburb of Denver. Yes. Most people have trouble getting started telling their stories, like me, but this was getting ridiculous. It's my aunt. Uh-huh. Ruth. Ruth? Yes, that's her first name. Her whole name is Ruth Elaine Jordan. Her birthday is February 23rd. I know you need her time, year, and place of birth. I know a little about professional astrology. That's why I called you. She was born in 1900. Ruth was. I don't know the time, but maybe I can get it. In Istanbul. She was born there. Her father was an ambassador in Istanbul. Jean paused, as if she had forgotten what she had said and what she wanted to say next. I wrote the time and date of the call on the notepad by the phone and began recording Jean's word spurts. I sipped my pink lemonade, sweating in the glass, dampening the napkin coaster under it. February 23rd. That was the day my publishing contract had been signed. The day's date and time, the one I wrote on top of my notepad, was March 15th, 1994, 2:37 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Tuesday. The moon had begun its few-day trip through Taurus, the most possessive, stubborn, down-to-earth, realistic sign of the zodiac, the sign for the Earth itself. Environmentalists don't know that, even though their Earth Day is celebrated during the month of Taurus. I hate to say it, but in all probability Mother Earth dislikes having her month polluted by the fertilizer put out by the ecological mania. But that's another story. Maybe. You've seen enough synchronicity to know it works. It was no accident that Jean phoned during the Taurus moon cycle. In fact, the type of astrology I do, called horary, is based on the theory that the answer to any question can be found in the time of asking. As is usually my MO, I devised my own brand of horary, made up my own rules as a takeoff on the old ones, which are a bit too negative and limiting for my Pollyanna taste. Don't laugh. There's a little girl with beribboned pigtails under this cynical old crone. Honestly, just ask any legal psychologist who's not a para like me. The child inside is the thing now, but I wonder. Back to Jean's story. Maybe you could tell me what's wrong with your aunt. Of course. Well, nothing's wrong with her, I hope, except that she's got some crazy ideas and she's addicted to reading murder mysteries. Then why? Nothing's wrong with her, it's just that she's not there. She's not home. I hope there's nothing wrong. But she's always home when I call at 4:30 in the afternoon. She's usually home from the tattered cover by then. I called yesterday at that time and she didn't answer her phone. Neither did Hans, her chauffeur. So you're saying Ruth's missing? Well, I drove over there this morning, and she wasn't home then either. And Hans was nowhere. The Rolls was gone. I had some errands to run, so I left and went back to the Cherry Creek mansion after lunch. The place is a morgue, a well-kept, elegant one, but so abandoned. That's when I decided I'd better call someone. Oh, can you hold a minute? I have another call coming in. Keeping the phone receiver against my ear, brows narrowed, I listened to the click of Jean's switch to another line. Taking another sip of lemonade, cooling and puckering my mouth, I read through my notes, swivel-squeaked my chair to face the window, and watched a neighbor lift rocks into a wheelbarrow. There was no sense of foul play, more a feeling of child's play, which didn't make sense at all. My intuition can appear out to lunch even to me, until it's clear how the feeling fit the underlying truth. Good God! Jean's voice was a loud, clear surprise. That was Hans. He can't find Ruth either. She never came out of the tattered cover yesterday. That's the end of Chapter 1. And we'll continue with Chapter 2 at a later time. The title of that one's Patchwork Quilts and Book Covers. Here's what the text looks like that I've just finished reading on my Amazon Kindle. And I think I'll go back, use the little back button here, and see if I can show you the title page again. This takes a minute. Go to the beginning, and we'll go to the title page. There's that, and I'll go up to this little toggle switch here. Push it up, and you get the little cursor. If I can do it right. Okay, there we go. It's on the table of contents. Pushing down on the cursor, or the toggle switch, I guess it's called. Now here's the table of contents. And that's just about good enough for this time. I think I better get